I woke up in a bed I didn't recognize. The sheets were clean, the air smelled like lavender, and a digital alarm clock blinked 6:42 a.m. in red. My head throbbed. My mouth was dry. But what hit me hardest was the silence, that sharp, clinical kind of silence you get in hotel rooms. Except this wasn't a hotel. There were framed photos on the dresser. A smiling woman and 2 kids. Me, in the middle, arm around her. But I didn't know them. Not their names. Not their faces. Nothing. I stumbled to the bathroom. Looked in the mirror. Same reflection I've always known. Early 30s. Faint scar under my lip from when I fell off a bike at 12. Brown hair, a little messy. Eyes, wide, confused. I opened the closet. All the clothes fit me perfectly. The jeans, the jacket, the old baseball cap I apparently liked enough to own. In the hallway, I found car keys labeled Jack's. Jack. I guess that's me. I stepped outside. Bright morning sun. Quiet suburban neighborhood. Lawns mowed. Flags hanging. Birds chirping. The kind of town where nothing ever happens until it does. A woman jogged past and waved. Morning, Jack. I smiled awkwardly. Hey. She laughed. Still not a morning person, huh? Next, a kid on a bike skidded to a stop at the curb. Hey, Mr. Carter. You gonna coach again this season? I blinked. Maybe. Cool. He sped off. Everywhere I turned, people smiled at me. Said my name. Talked like they knew me. Deeply, personally. But I didn't recognize a single face. At the coffee shop on Main Street, the barista gave me a nod. The usual Jack? What's that? She laughed. Double espresso. No sugar, splash of oat milk. You okay? I took the coffee and sat by the window, watching the town move like a well-rehearsed performance. I felt like I had walked into a movie I was somehow starring in, without a script. That's when a man in a worn sheriff's uniform walked in. Late 50s. Hard face. Eyes that studied you like a threat. He looked at me too long before speaking. You're back. Have we met? I asked. He didn't answer. Just said, you need to come see her. I didn't want to follow him, but I did. He drove a county vehicle. Dusty. Radio crackling low. We rode in silence until we reached the edge of town. A small house with peeling paint and a sagging porch. Inside, in a room with faded curtains and old photographs, sat an elderly woman in a wheelchair. Her eyes lit up when she saw me. My boy, she whispered. She held my hand like she'd been waiting her whole life. Tears ran down her cheeks. You came back. After all this time. I didn't know what to say. My mouth opened. Nothing came out. The sheriff leaned against the doorway, arms crossed. Watching. I turned to him. I don't remember her. She's your mother. That word, mother, hit me like a punch to the ribs. I should feel something. Guilt. Sadness. Relief. But there was only numbness. People don't just forget their lives, I said. He looked at me for a long moment. Unless someone wants them to. I couldn't sleep that night. I lay on the unfamiliar bed, staring at the ceiling fan spinning above me, trying to process what the sheriff said. She's your mother. But I had no memory of her. None. And yet, her tears, the way she held my hand, it didn't feel like a lie. It felt worse, like the truth I had forgotten. The next morning, I started searching. If this was my life, there had to be proof. Something. Anything. I opened the drawers, closets, cabinets. There were bank statements. My name was on them. Jack Carter. A driver's license with my face. Birth certificate, too. Born in this town. Photos of me with friends I didn't know. Birthday cakes. Cookouts. Vacations. I was smiling in all of them. Who was this man I used to be? At the local library, I logged into the computer with the information I found in the drawer. Turns out I had an email account. Dozens of messages. Some from co-workers at a construction firm. Others from someone named Sarah. I opened one. Missed you last night. Hope the job didn't keep you too late. Love you. I read it 3 times. I had someone who loved me, and I didn't even remember her name. That evening, I walked to the bar downtown. The bartender's face lit up when he saw me. Jack, you ghosted us, man. Where the hell have you been? I lied, long story, trying to remember things. He laughed, but it faded quickly when he saw my face. You serious? I don't remember anything before yesterday. He blinked. Like, nothing at all. Nothing. He poured me a whiskey without asking. Your usual, he said. Then he leaned in. There was a rumor, after you disappeared, that you were in some kind of program, that the government took you. What program? He hesitated. Sarah used to talk about it. She thought they erased your memory. There it was again. The name. Sarah. Where can I find her? I asked. He pulled out his phone, showed me an address just outside of town. A red cabin near the edge of the woods. I didn't wait. I took the keys from my pocket, my keys, and drove. It was just before sunset when I reached the cabin. The trees cast long shadows. Wind rustled the leaves. I knocked. Nothing. Then, footsteps inside. The door creaked open. She stood there, maybe mid-30s. Auburn hair tied back. Sharp green eyes. Her face froze the second she saw me. "Jack," she whispered. I didn't know what to say. "I don't remember you." Tears welled up in her eyes. She didn't blink, didn't move, just said, "I knew this day would come." She let me in. The cabin was quiet, full of books and plants and candles. Peaceful. "You really don't remember anything?" she asked. "No, just flashes. Feelings. Like I'm in someone else's dream." She nodded slowly. Then she handed me a photo. It was us. Together. Holding hands in that same cabin. Laughing. Happy. "We were together for 3 years," she said. "Why don't I remember?" She took a deep breath. "Because you asked them to take it away." My heart dropped. "Who?" She looked toward the woods, her voice barely audible. "The people behind Project Echo." "Project Echo?" I repeated, my voice barely above a whisper. Sarah nodded. She sat across from me in the quiet cabin, her hands trembling as she poured tea into chipped ceramic cups. The air was thick, not just with the scent of pine wood and dust, but with something heavier, a truth that had been waiting too long. "You volunteered," she said. "I begged you not to, Jack. I told you it was dangerous. Why would I volunteer to erase my memory?" I asked, my voice cracking. She looked up at me, tears in her eyes. "Because you wanted to forget what happened to your brother." A sharp flash, an image I couldn't place, tore through my mind. Blood. Sirens. Screaming. "I have a brother?" I whispered. She reached into a drawer and handed me a photo. 2 boys. Teenagers. Me and someone else. Blue eyes, buzz cut, wide smile. "Ethan," she said. "He died 3 years ago. Car accident." "You were driving." The words hit me like a truck. "No," I muttered. "No, I'd remember that." "You didn't want to," Sarah said. "You blamed yourself. You fell apart. For months. Then someone approached you, someone from the Institute. They offered you a way out. Project Echo. Start over," I murmured. "They didn't just erase the memory of the accident. They wiped everything. Your family, your friends, me." She laughed bitterly through the tears. "I told you it was too much. That memories hurt, but they also heal. You didn't care. You just wanted to disappear." I stood and staggered away from the table. My whole body was shaking. I leaned against the wall, trying to breathe. "Why now?" I asked. "Why am I remembering now?" Sarah walked over slowly. "Because it's temporary. The wipe never holds forever. That's the part they don't tell you. You were supposed to come back to me once you were ready." "I wasn't ready," I whispered. "No," she said. "But you are now." That night, I sat alone on the porch of the cabin, staring into the woods. The stars above were brighter than anything I remembered. Or maybe, more than anything I had forgotten. The town, the people, none of it was fake. It had all been mine once. And I'd thrown it away. I didn't sleep. My mind wouldn't rest. In the morning, I drove to the edge of town, to the Institute. Sarah had given me the address. A brutal concrete building, hidden behind trees. No signs, just a steel door with a scanner. It opened the moment I stepped forward. Inside, white hallways, fluorescent lights, no people in sight. Until I reached the room with the red door. I remembered this door. The last one I walked through before becoming whoever I am now. Inside, a man in a lab coat was already waiting. "Mr. Carter," he said calmly, as if we were meeting for a checkup. "You're early." "I want the truth," I said. He nodded once, not surprised. "You're in what we call the regression window. A few more weeks and your memory would have come back entirely. But not always in the right order." I clenched my fists. "You made me forget my life." "No," he corrected. "You asked us to take it. We just complied." I stared at him. This stranger. This man who had taken everything from me and done it with paperwork and a signature. "What happens now?" I asked. He looked at a screen. "You can reverse it. There's still time. Full reintegration. But it's painful. Emotionally. And some memories can't be rewritten. Only re-experienced." "Will I remember Ethan?" He paused. Then nodded. "Yes. All of it." I turned away from him, looked out the window at the woods beyond the glass. And I knew I couldn't live a borrowed life anymore. Not when the real one, even broken, was still mine. Later that day, Sarah met me in the park. I told her what I'd chosen. She didn't say anything, just hugged me, long, fierce, like she never planned to let go again. And for the first time since waking up in that unfamiliar bed, I felt like I had found my way home.